Hello everyone, my name is Andy and welcome to another episode of Deals and Steals. Today is October 7th and it's about 10 p.m. Central here in Minnesota. Found a super cool, super weird one today, ladies and gentlemen, on the Facebook Marketplace. So, sorry for the angle. We're going to have to kind of scan up and down. This is an Electra, I believe it was called, it's like the X1-PW, I think is the model that I found. They have another one that's sort of the reverse version where I think there's a little bit bigger of a horn on the right side and the switch is over there. But I kind of dug that this is basically like your Les Paul layout. Knobs are kind of opposite, but the pickup selector is up top. So this is by a brand called Electra, and I think it's a different channel, but there's a very, very old video of me playing an old Strat copy, neither of these. Um, that's Electra. Now these are made in Japan in the 70s and 80s. The last one I had was like a 72 Strat looking thing. This I believe is 80s. It is a bolt-on. I am now seeing it in the light for pretty much the first time. It's yellowed way more than I expected, but that's okay. Tremolo seems to be, or whammy seems to be blocked. So I would like to dig in there at some point and check that out. But at a glance, the neck looked pretty decent. It's got a stamped serial number, like inked. Oh, I don't know. Maybe there's no texture to that. Headstock looks good. There is some hard to see in the light there. There you go. Some kind of paint peeling there. Scrape on the back of the neck, and then because it's a big, weird, pointy guitar, that's one thing. But there are definitely gouges on the bottom. Of course, I messaged the guy and was like, any big gouges out of it? And he said no. And then by the time I got there, he's like, yeah. So this is my son's, and looks like he didn't take as good a care of it as I thought. But it also came with this Fender Frontman 15, which is kind of neat. I forget that these have aux in. It does have drive, headphones input, and then I think it's just power. Yep, back there. I continue to see these online. They're not expensive, of course, but they usually come with some sort of guitar bundle. And then lastly, we have this Hoover bag that has some cables, picks, all the stuff in it, which is actually kind of amazing. I don't know how quality this cable is. Oh, it's a Fender cable. Fender braided cable, a simple strap, a Fender branded tuner, acoustic set of strings, but they are new. Cool. I'm guessing this little Fender CD came with the... I have another one of these. There's an old Deals and Steals episode where the 3 pedals came with like a bag of junk, and I think this was in there. Another set of brand new Martin strings. That's pretty neat. Oh, no way. A Fretrest brand guitar wall hanger. That's kind of cool. Little feet looking things for under a pedal or something. Oh, wow. Spring and Allen key. Extra spring. We'll have to see how many springs are in there. Neat. A pair of headphones because you can plug in. He's got the adapter so you can jam silently. That's how they did it back in the day. Power cable, great. If it didn't come with that, I wasn't going to be annoyed or anything. And no friggin' way. This is the exact pick that I use most of the time. Jim Dunlop nylon 0.73. So that's amazing. 7 or 8 of those. Looks like some Fender strings. See if there's 6 of those in there, because I think there's 5 of strings on here. And then a Fender branded strap. So, all in all, guitar, amp, sets of strings, fret rest, tuner, cable, $140. He had it listed for $150. I told him I was hitting the ATM and had 20s. He said, come right now, I'll do you for $140. Whoa, that sounded weird. I'll do $140 for you. Um, so yeah, holy freaking crap. But first, let's plug her in and see how she sounds. Okay, so I'm just gonna super awkwardly go back and forth between the amp and the guitar. I mean, I did strum a couple chords and get the 5 strings tuned up anyway. And there's no high E. I am using the Fender cable it came with. The crackling you hear is the input. I'm not sure how close this is, but so 2 volume, 2 tone. Selector seems to work, except I hope you can hear that a little bit. The bridge pickup, excuse me, is really quiet. But the pots work. And these do have those cool grippies on them, which is sweet as far as the speed knobs go. Yeah, so, and sitting down with this big body with this non-right angle cable is not perfect, but it makes noise. At a glance, this sounds okay. Oh boy. Well, there we go. Now we're just on the neck pickup. Not awesome. At some point I'll plug it into a better amp. Well, probably the orange right behind it. This I will probably sell or give away. And well, oh jeepers! Hang on a second. Plugged in a different cable. That's at least right angle, so it's not bumping as much. Okay, so the EQ does work with a clean channel as well, which is nice. Let's go back. Let's focus on the guitar here for a second. So once again, you've got kind of this reverse Explorer shape. Now, I'm a Firebird guy. I like those. And I like Les Pauls too. Again, this is kind of cool because it's got not quite the same configuration, but 2 volume, 2 tone, and the pickup selector. Now, these Strats don't get played. The one doesn't have any strings, and this one's got a couple issues I haven't sorted out yet. But I'm not very used to guitars that are what I would call a flat top. So a Les Paul has an arch top, right? You've got the bridge, you've got more space between the body and the strings. The arch top style is that the neck is at a different angle than the body, and the strings go outward from the body. Whereas a Strat is flat. That I'm not used to. This is the same kind of thing, sort of a hybridization of the two. You've got the Les Paul electronic style with the flatness with the whammy bar. So if I didn't say it before, these are made in Japan. Were made in Japan. This should be early to mid 80s. Made in Japan. It says so, so it must be true, right? You've got the cavity for the switch, you've got the cavity for the trem, you've got the cavity for the controls. Again, it's definitely rough, but the body style was so wild. These electric guitars, along with things like Teisco and other brands, continue to be more sought after. People are interested in them. The neck feels great. The frets are not huge. And again, it's not in perfect shape. The frets are not giant or super tiny or anything. at a glance, so I'm sorry I'm all over the place. They feel decent. I like the subtle small dots. Again, you can see it's kind of hard to tell. There's some paint chip in there. But it doesn't feel like there's a break of any sort. Again, the serial number is nice and prominent. It looks, so I think it was like branded or stamped or whatever, and then they put the clear coat over it. It looks really nice. Some more peeling there. And again, on the back, you've got, it said no gouges. It's like before you even got to the bottom, it's like, there's a big one, buddy. So again, the bottom horns are not superb. They're better than a couple I've seen online, and I haven't seen many. But yeah, for $140, this sucker, the amp, the cable, the sets of strings, the picks, the fret rest or string swing thing, basically a cheaper version of that. Now I have another thing to hang a guitar on, which is pretty cool. Let's pop this sucker open really quick. So instead of making you watch me take off 6 screws, I took the first 5 off. And you and I together can look and see what the inside of this looks like. Okay, so oh wow. Holy crap. Okay, back of the thing. Makes sense, there's dirt and dust kind of following that cavity. So there's having your trem blocked off, then there's having your trem cemented off. What the hell? At least we know it's not going anywhere. I was thinking about doing some kind of, I was thinking about making, you know, other than those strats, which should be the ones, but I was thinking about making this like the mod project that I like finally either do myself or get some help from a friend of mine. We're gonna get a Dremel and grind that effer out. That's kind of interesting. But 3 springs, that's what I expected. The spring that was in that bag, I think, was more gold. So that, especially with the Allen wrench, which I don't think there's anything Allen wrenchy on this guitar. But I mean, the springs look good. I almost wonder why they keep them in there if they cemented it off. So that's really wild. I'm glad that I documented this. Now, one thing that's kind of cool that I'm going to dig into next, I'll pause one more time, is the electronics. Like, this is a hunk of metal. I don't know if it's aluminum or brass or whatever, but the switch cavity is also like that. So, give me a second. Okay, so now we're onto the electronics cavity. I'm praying for no weird surprises like the cement or whatever we found there. Oh, jeez, that sucked. Oh no. I think I just caused that little scrape. Whoa. Whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. Killer. One, these are full-size pots, I think. I'm not an electrician, I don't freaking know. But what I do know is when you see something like this, these non-circular ones, call them squares, I'm sure. These have taps on them. So that's insane. At a glance, I'm guessing that's the original wiring. It looks alright. But again, when I see this, I don't know much, but when I saw that, I immediately understood. I was like, I wonder if this has push-pull pots. So that is super killer. I'm guessing they're coil splits. If you're not familiar with what a coil split is, excuse me, I'm gonna, well, whatever. Do it this way. Usually what it'll do is it'll like turn off one coil and give you a single coil sound. Interesting. And I've had a couple guitars with this tech in it, but they're a heck of a lot newer. And again, as far as I know, it's from the 80s. So it could be the original wiring. It might not be. It looks, I mean, it looks old-ish. I don't know. Some dust in there. The cavity itself is relatively clean. God, I think I did that little thing as I took the plate out. Oh, well. So that looks mighty nice. I'm excited to see what that does. We'll plug her back in and we'll sound check that. So I open the switch cavity too, and again, this is like a tiny hunk of metal. I don't know if it, I doubt it's actually brass, but like some sort of aluminum. And And inside, oops, sorry, it's kind of dark in there. Kind of a big, here, like this. Takes up the whole thing. That's the switch. One thing that's super cool about this, by the way, is the switch tip on this. Sorry, where are you? It's kind of cool. I mean, the switch feels really nice. If possible, I would like to turn it so it's a little more up and down versus up and down the way you're strumming versus back and forth like that. But this switch tip is kind of cool too, and it's flat. It feels really nice. So my hope, realistically, is, well, one, just to get that bridge pickup to work, see where the disconnect is there. I'm guessing it's in the jack, because again, that was all crackly and stuff. I am not going to take that off. I'm going to leave that be. But there's the jack plate. The plate itself is not loose, but the input is a little bit. So yeah, again, I believe this is the Electra X1-PW, and I believe, I'm going to guess PW is like Polaris White or something like that. After a Gibson thing. I'm not going to take the pickups out. I'm not going to monkey with any of that. Again, I am not an electrician. But the coil splitting pots, that was a fun discovery. Well, again, I assume that's what it is, and they do it individually. So as far as it being a mod project, I don't even know if I want to do anything with it now. The body being rough, that's one thing. The mods I would probably make would primarily be to uncement this bridge, de-cement this bridge, and maybe get what I assume it would need a better trem system in there. The tuners at a glance, they feel pretty smooth. It's made in Japan, so I mean, Japan in the 80s had really nice stuff. So, I'll post more info on this in the description. I get the exact model again. I think it's the Electra X1-PW. So, yeah, rough body aside, this thing is pretty cool. Again, these metal pieces for the cavities, the two cavities. Oops, gonna not lose those screws. There's 6 screws down there for the trem plate. I'm gonna plug this into the orange really quick, and we'll just see how it sounds by comparison, and what am I trying to say? Do the little coil splitty thing, or see what it does. Okay, so we're plugged into the orange. Once again, only 5 string. I can't wait to hear that bridge pickup squeal. Like, oh wait. Okay, still neck pickup. There's your bridge. All right, so neck pickup on full. Yep, when you pull that pot in, a little more jangle. That is so cool. Oh, come on. Come on, bridge pickup. I hear you crackling. Hey, bridge pickup. And split. Oh, or not. Didn't like us doing that. Dang it. Well, it sounded nice and clear. But again, that's definitely a coil split of some sort. So, holy mackerel, deals and steals, people. Again, rough around the edges, but it's MIJ, it's vintage. It came with an amp, a cable, a strap, 3 sets of strings, 2 of which are acoustic, pile of picks that I actually use all the time, which is fabulous. Excuse my sock there. The tuner, the fret rest, the wall hanger dealie, which is great because, you know, obviously it's a little too late for this one, but you don't want this thing on the floor too much or it's going to get dinged up, which it already is. So hang it up. So anyway, thank you for watching. You can see my reflection in the TV there. If you've stuck around this long, obviously I end up rambling. I'm like, yeah, it's going to be like a 5-10 minute thing, and here we are just past the 20-minute mark. So thanks for hanging out. Like, comment, subscribe. I hope to figure out the situation with the jack, and if nothing else, restring it, because looks like, oh, are these brass? Or they're just tarnished? Saddles feel nice. I was thinking of doing an Agu Fish Hunter, if you know him from the Agu Fish channel. Takes probably rougher guitars than this, or cheaper guitars than this, and does mod projects on them. I think it would be cool to get a nice trim on there. Maybe leave the tuners because they're alright. So, anyway, I will shut up now. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for hanging out. Bye-bye.